like amazing against your skin. And so if you want to wear those things, know the history, but totally rock that shit.
Oh, absolutely. And like, if you have someone who wants to help you get dressed and undressed, by all means, allow them to do so. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, I don't. And sometimes I just fall asleep in whatever I was wearing. But
yeah.
I mean, I do, but I just sometimes still just fall asleep in whatever I'm wearing. It's just too much work. But that's the point, right? Like that's what.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they whoever they are, decided that they wanted for us. Yeah. The men. Patriarchy. It's the first time we said it in this episode.
Oh crap, we're falling behind in the drinking game.
I know.
We said patriarchy once. We have said gender binary a lot of times though, so just substitute that for patriarchy if you're drinking every time we say it.
Yeah.
Okay, so one last thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to female helplessness in fashion is the corset. There's a lot of different ways to look at corsets. And one of the difficult things about corsets is that they're fucking awesome and they look fantastic and I really like them. But I don't think that we can ignore the fact that they were pushed on women. They were like some of the original body shaping like clothing. And they were literally made to, like, depending on the time period, do different things to a woman's torso to make her appear more attractive to men. Like, there's also the argument to be made that, like, in addition to propping up your boobs and making them look bigger or making your waist look smaller or, you know, whatever the case might be, depending on when you were wearing one, they also did support your back. So people have made the argument that if you were actually like doing work all day in a corset and you're bending over a lot and you're picking things up, that it's actually better for you because you won't hurt your back as much.
Yeah,
but
because humans weren't really made to be the shape that we are
right
to begin with.
Bipedalism is ridiculous. That's a whole other topic.
Yeah, we'll just go back to walking on all fours, I think.
But like they were specifically made to make your body look more attractive. And so it's, you know, it's body shaping wear. And you know, it's one of those like double-edged swords where like on the one hand, yeah, make your body look how you want it to look, like feel good about your body. But on the other hand, that's inherently saying that there's something wrong with how your body looks on its own.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. Not to mention that, like, especially in like the 1800s, when corsets became very much about tiny waists and like huge skirts to like, you know, even it out, or I don't know, juxtapose the two, I suppose. Like women, the stereotype that women faint easily comes directly from the fact that women in corsets couldn't fucking breathe and they would pass out very easily because they were corseted in so tightly. And like physicians during the 1800s who were anti-corset talked about like literally corsets rearranging women's organs and like causing all kinds of health problems.
Like shapewear and other things still being worn like that to this day. I know because I wear those things. I am
Spanx, right?
Yep.
That's the modern corset.
Well, I mean, I wear corsets and Spanx sometimes at the same time. And what you were talking about where like being sold an item of fashion because you want to fix something on your body that you're being told isn't okay, you know, is like one of the biggest problems that I have in trying to find like clothing and underwear that like makes me feel good about myself. And so when I go on to say look for lingerie, women who are shaped like me are often highly edited, like any folds, any like stretch marks, anything else is edited out of the picture. And so it's really hard to find something. It's impossible to find something that looks like the same on that woman, even if it's a larger model. Then, you know, because you don't see that. It's changing now, and there are places that I do buy from that have models represented like more accurately. But it's taken a long time to get to that point. I mean, if they had something like that, maybe when I was in my 20s, where I could go onto a website and find lingerie for myself with people that looked like me, who were also, BIPOC, and who also had stretch marks because I had a baby at 19 years old, and then several more right after that. But so like it's hard to like deal with a society that keeps telling you, no, you're beautiful the way you are, while at the same time like telling you that you need shapewear and telling you that you need that you finding that you don't look like the way that the models look when you put on like the lingerie or whatever. And then
and like it's another way to sell more things to people, like on top of the gender binary. So you have to buy things that correspond to your gender. You also have to buy this huge list of things that will make you look the right way, because you inherently just don't. And that is sold to especially women, like every woman, unless you happen to be like, 5'8" and like a Swedish supermodel with blonde hair and blue eyes and the perfect ratio of freckles to not freckles, and like the quote unquote perfect woman that the fashion industry agrees is the perfect woman. You are inherently wrong, and therefore you must buy all of these things to make yourself correct. And I feel like corsets were like some of the first mainstream items to really tell women that they were wrong and they had to wear this thing to fix themselves.
Yeah. Also, 3-inch shoes in China to fit like lotus feet, things like that.
Right.
And we talked about beauty standards a couple episodes ago, and I know that these, like all of these things kind of like are really, really close to each other. And but like beauty standards and fashion are like the evil like sisters that they can be like the evil sisters that like they're like that can make us feel that way, but at the same time they can also empower us. And so that's like what's really important to me, is being able to see people use both of these different ways of expression to like make changes. And as we were talking about earlier, like be political and to show how to put out there what they want to put out there as their like personal identity or not, it's just, but it's so much to like learn and understand that sometimes maybe it's just easier to buy the thing and buy the Spanx and wear the corset, and which I'm totally guilty of.
Well, I mean, there's always like there's a payoff, and there's a what you're willing to pay into something. And sometimes, we just don't always have the fucking time or the energy to make the political goddamn statement with every outfit. Like,
oh yeah, totally.
Sometimes you just want to look nice in the way that as a whatever gender you are expected to look nice, and just do it. Like, and that's legit too. We don't have endless supplies of energy. And also, I was thinking about this as I was writing, or as I was taking notes rather, about specifically corsets, and how corsets are often very popular in like BDSM circles. And I started thinking like a lot of like corsetry is it's bondagey. Like they used to make like steel corset cages that look like something straight out of a dungeon. Although actually, oh my God, I learned while I was researching this that before they had steel corsets and iron corsets, they were made out of whalebone, which I had always heard. But I did not realize that whalebone is baleen. Whalebone is not bone. It's like the stuff that whales use to filter out their fish.
Baleen.
Yeah. So I was Googling baleen the other day, and I accidentally copy and pasted the link about a baleen article to James, who does our sound editing. And he was like, "What the hell, Lynsey?" And I'm like, "Oh, there's a reason for that, I swear." I meant to copy and paste something totally different to him, but that's what came out. He was like, "Okay, weirdo."
No, he doesn't find it weird.
Sure. Thanks for that.
I send him like weird things all the time. Signals. Things like that.
Well, the whole thing behind the baleen.
Tell him it was a hint, and then just let him think about it, bro.
Like, hint, whalebone. Wink.
Baleen. Winky face emoji.
Yeah, then we got into this whole conversation about like how it would suck if you were a whale and like you sneezed and fish went out your blowhole, and and like getting a fish stuck in your sinuses and how uncomfortable that would be.
Yeah, and how weird it would look for a human. You were on the part. He was having the conversation with both of us, and I was having a conversation about how if humans had blowholes, like how if we sneezed, something would fly out of the back of our neck or off the top of our head, and how weird it would be.
Yeah, that's way harder to cover up than if something just like slightly comes out of your mouth when you cough. Like,
you think that we would have blowhole fashion? Like,
oh my god, yes, it'd be like vablazzling except blowholes. So like the vablazzling. I don't know.
That's what it would be, vablazzling.
Oh no. Oh, what are we doing? What's happening? Oh my god. Oh wait, okay.
It did a new thing again.
Geniuses. Fashion icons. Right here. Oh my god. I'm overheating. I'm sweating so much right now. What is happening? Oh.
You have to keep the vablazzling in there.
One way or another.
James totally use that.
Vablazz. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I'm the adult. I'm calming us down because what I was thinking is that I think corsets may have been the beginning of a lot of like bondage in Western culture. Like, I read an article where someone was saying that wearing a corset is like you're being gently held and hugged the entire day. Which is basically what rope bunnies say about being tied up. So I feel like there's something there. Like there are some people who the feeling of restriction that like can keep some people from being able to breathe properly. Other people really like it helps them feel safe and cozy. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I can get that.
Yeah, so all of which is to say, if you're into corsets, like please keep wearing corsets. They're badass, and I really love the way they look. But again, knowing a little bit of the history and thinking about them critically is never a bad thing.
Absolutely. I do that very thing all the time. Like, I know exactly what I'm wearing or doing and why I shouldn't do it. That doesn't necessarily stop me.
You're a grown-ass woman.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
And I'm complicated.
Yes. Sexy. I like it. Crap. Okay, I keep forgetting that we're doing this for people to listen to.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. All right. Well, on that note, I feel like we've been talking for a long time, so we should probably call it.
Yeah.
Next time around, we're doing a grab bag, folks. You don't know what you're going to get until you walk into that episode. We don't know either.
It's a surprise. Oh, you ruined it.
Oh, I mean, we do know, but we're not telling you.
Yeah, it's a surprise.
There we go. Totally fooled them. They have no idea.
Nailed it.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for tuning into Hourgasm. We'll be back next week with something amazing. And until then, have a good time. Wear a corset if you want, or don't. Whatever works for you. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say.
Make political statements with your clothing.
Yeah.
And put it on TikTok for me to watch.
Yes.
And tag me in it so that I can see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tag us on social media with your political fashion statements.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. All right. Till next time, folks. Ciao, ciao.
Let our love be a flame, not an ember. Say it's me that you want to dismember. Blacken my eye, set fire to my tie as we dance to the masochism tango. At your command, before you here I stand. My heart is in my hand. Ugh. It's here that I must be,